Hi, welcome back. I'm Mel Mitchell-Jackson, and I'm an adventure artist based in the Bay Area. This week I want to take you on a small adventure. I want to show you that not all adventures need to be some epic camping, hiking, or backpacking trip. They can be tiny and still have a lot of meaning. Your adventures can stay really small. The key is to just go out and get inspired. In this video, you're going to see me take public transit, go around San Francisco, explore the Twin Peaks area, which I've always wanted to paint, and then I'm gonna go on a really long walk and take you to Dolores Park where I'll do some actual painting. All of that exploring is going to happen with the help of a handy assistant, my mask. And wait, before you leave and turn away just because I'm gonna wear this thing, I need you to know I'm disabled. I have long COVID, and that, for me, was a hard thing to come to terms with. But what I want to do in this video is show you how I find joy in the little things still, even though I have this diagnosis. I think it's important that you hear more stories from people who are still wearing these. During this adventure, you're going to hear me chat more about the meaning of this channel's name and get inspired to persistently get out there and bloom too. Simply wearing this feels like a radical act. I've experienced so much unkindness and vitriol from people when I'm in public wearing this. From dirty looks to yelling at me directly to remove it. I refuse to let those experiences keep me locked in my home forever, though. To quote the wonderfully talented writer and disability activist Alice Wong in her book Year of the Tiger, learning about disability history and realizing that I was a member of a protected class encouraged me to imagine and create the life I want. With that, I want to share with you a bit of the life I'm creating despite my long COVID diagnosis. You'll witness a sliver of what it's like to be a person with long COVID going out and experiencing joy. The act of choosing joy and finding ways to make time for it in my life feels so powerful. It's antithetical to the ways American culture expects people like me to shrink. Regardless if politicians try to ban me wearing it, or if companies try to pretend like disabled people like me don't take the BART. To quote Alice Wong again, unlearning and building anew is activism too. At the end of the day, no one will remember, and no one can save us except us. If you're curious to learn more about disability history, I highly recommend you check out her book and series of essays. After getting my initial COVID infection in 2021, I had some major agoraphobia. I worked in a retail setting where I caught the initial infection, and being around crowds became a huge trigger for me. When I got my flow mask, a lot of that changed. I saw all of the studies being done around it, and I decided to start taking the BART again and slowly getting more comfortable being around people. It really helped, and so did my care team. I grew up in Chicago, so taking trains and public transit were peaceful transitions in my day that I often looked forward to. The slow moments as you glide to your destination, you get a rare chance to look more closely at the world around you and notice things that you otherwise wouldn't. Perfect for an artist. For this adventure, I took the BART and the Mooney bus up to the Twin Peaks area. From the East Bay, I can see Sutro Tower sitting atop the hills, and I've always wanted to witness what the world looks like up there. The way that SF sprawls over hills into valleys, dipping and undulating onto the landscape, always has made me stop and pause. I love spending time looking at it. The work of artists like Wayne Thiebaud and how he would depict the San Francisco cityscape always inspired me. I got to see one of my favorite wildflowers, the lupin, and a bee was enjoying it too. And then I continued hiking up and up, taking a preview of the absolutely stunning view. Continuing up these secret stairs to the Christmas tree overlook. Up some more stairs. And then using some magic here to get you to the top with me. As soon as I got here, the wind really picked up and the marine layers started coming in. But it was stunning. I couldn't believe I had finally made it up here. And I got to watch some crows play in the wind. So cute. I wanted to paint. It was a little bit too windy, so I just sat and looked. Then I headed to peak number 2, also loving the gorgeous vegetation on this hill. I tried drawing up here, but you can tell it was extremely windy, like so windy. And then I tried holding my phone with my chin and my neck, but that didn't work. And then the wind got incredibly spicy. I honestly got kind of scared and spooked, and all of my supplies started flying everywhere. This is what I drew regardless. Persistent bloom, right? But time to go. So as I was leaving, I was a little sad because I definitely wanted to spend time painting up here. But at least I got some great reference photos. I got to take the time to spend really looking at the view. And then I got to discover a series of fun secret staircases that go through in between the buildings that allow you to wrap all the way down to 23rd Street. So this was a really cool experience, getting to see the neighborhoods of San Francisco a little bit more. I think people don't see how beautiful these neighborhoods really are, but they're so inspiring and I love walking through them. Lots and lots of steep hills that I have to climb and experience. This was the really cool bridge that I found. So it went over one of the main roads and it led to this spiral bridge. So fun. Then I kept stopping to take photos of the brightly painted homes or to stop and smell the roses. The way plants bloom in SF and the Bay Area in general is what inspired the name of this channel and the creative retreats I'm hoping to start hosting this fall. Persistent bloom came from seeing that no matter what season it is, some plant along any trail was finding its way to persist and stay blooming. For me, this had an even deeper meaning when I was simply trying to persist and exist as someone with long COVID. I really struggled returning to life as usual and have had to grieve the activities I have lost the ability to do. My body is different now, I have to wear a mask, and that has led to feeling like I don't belong in spaces that I used to. Persistent bloom has also meant that I'm coming back to making art and showing up as an artist online after crashing and burning in the art world. I followed the path that art school laid out for me, and I ended up broke and burned out. My little mask gave me my life back, and it pains me that the country that I live in has politicized the health device that I need to survive and stay alive. There are so many other humans in pain over this ignorance and hatred. Remember, people like us deserve to live and exist. So some of the hills that I got to in SF were quite wacky. And luckily there were lots of stairs for me to go down. But I always wonder, how do people park vertically like that? Just how? Then I arrived in Dolores Park, got myself a matcha and found a spot to sit down. Originally I wanted to paint these buildings in the background, but I was getting distracted by this very cute dog. Got my setup all ready to roll and decided to paint the top of this dome of this building. And I was really having a lot of fun just painting from life, working on getting the bluish purple of the stairs in here. Really testing my new travel kit. If you are curious about the supplies that I brought with me, I do have a video that I will link in the description below, all about my new travel kit and how it fits in my little bag. Here I am trying to carve out the general shapes of the tree. I love using an angle shader to draw because of the different types of mark making I can get. Little time lapse so that way you can watch me paint a bit faster. Getting in the trees in a really nice dark phthalo blue. And then going in with tiny little highlights and details. The point where I get to draw with the brush is always my favorite. Getting in those stairs. And then it started misting, so it was time to pack up. Got all of my supplies put back in my bag. Got my mask back on. My sitting pad, my palette for mixing, my notebook for writing, paint palette, paint cup, sketchbook, burrito roll, and I'm off. Goodbye, Dolores. That was fun. And then as I was walking, I had to stop and film these flowers that I saw. Aren't they gorgeous? Truly incredible. The amount of beauty that you can witness when you are walking around in San Francisco is enormous. And look at all these. This is just outside of a business. Truly stunning. Here's my friend Margot playing her show. A little clip. You should definitely check out her music. She's on Apple Music and Spotify.
To all the ones I kissed before, to all the friendships not restored, every street I have to relive, no one came as close as we did. To every tear I cried driving home, to every thinking.
We both actually met originally in Kansas City, but we both live in California now, and Margot's down in LA. I even tried drawing while she was playing, which was enormously difficult. But back onto the BART, and we're heading home. Masked up again, of course. And time for some night city views. If you have stopped masking, it's okay to go back. It's okay if you're still masking to feel weird around your friends and family who don't. Remember that it's like a seatbelt. You can protect yourself. Just because people around you have moved on doesn't mean that you have to. I think it's really hard to give in to the peer pressure, the politicization, all of those things. But really, they don't do anything to serve us, especially when it comes to disability. During the next few weeks, I am going to be incredibly busy preparing for two really big markets that are coming up. The first is at the Walnut Creek Art and Wine Festival. That one's going to be huge. They're anticipating 60,000 attendees. And I got my booth position and it is near the entrance and I'm so excited. And then the following weekend, I'm in the Patchwork show that is happening in Oakland, and that will be on June 8th. So back-to-back markets, and I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes, showing how I turn my digital paintings into prints and how those different markets go. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, I highly recommend that you check out the book that I mentioned, Year of the Tiger by Alice Wong. I highly recommend taking a look at Alice Wong's other work. Her Substack is absolutely incredible, and I also really love the book Disability Visibility, so definitely check that out down below. Explore the channel. I have a whole bunch of other videos kind of talking a little bit more about my artistic practice, and I'm going to do more small adventure videos like this right here on the channel. So if you want to be the first to know when they come out, hit that magical subscribe button. And until next time, stay creative and find your own way to find persistent bloom. See ya!